What's up, my friends? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I have the pleasure of bringing on a friend of mine, Simon, onto the channel. And Simon is a composer and sound designer for the company Fallout Music Group, which you might have heard of before. And he does some great work. He reached out to me recently to potentially do a video together. And so I was super excited because you know that I don't really do sound design on my channel. It's something that I tend to stray away from. I'm just not very comfortable with it. And Simon has a wealth of knowledge in that area. So I'm super excited to bring him on today. He's going to kind of cover some sound design techniques that we can start incorporating into our compositions and really giving us that more hybrid approach in case you're interested in that sort of thing. So thank you to Simon for bringing this on, for sharing this with us. And he's also prepared a guide as well for you to check out as well. And the link to that is in the description box below. So definitely feel free to check that out if you want to dive in a little bit deeper into the sound design aspects and learn a bit more there. So without further ado, welcome Simon. Thank you again. And I'll hand it off to you. Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is Simon. I'm a sound designer, and in this video we're going to take a look at 3 simple sound design techniques that you can use to enhance your already great compositions. I will show you the different techniques, and we will take a look at some examples how they can enhance and bring new life and new dimensions to your already great compositions. All the plugins that I use in the video are free, so you can download them and just get going directly with your sound design stuff. I also provide all the presets for this session, so you can download them and use them as starting point when you want to dive into this a bit. And I have also prepared a really great giveaway in the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. So you might ask yourself, why sound design? Well, the point of this video is to just give you a couple more tools, a couple more colors to work with. You have so much great ideas in you. If you have the right tools for them, you can just bring them out of you faster. So enough of this, let's get into the techniques. For this first technique, I have just put together a simple idea with some orchestral parts and some synth parts, and we can just see how we can use those synths to just enhance the overall sonic feeling of the track if you layer in some synths without them taking over. So we start out with just having a listen to it. Cool, just a simple idea, nothing crazy. Sounds like a really huge orchestral with some brass and strings and percussion. But we have this synth stem here. So we listen one more time and I just mute the synth stems on and off as we go, and you can just get a feeling and a vibe for what that adds to the overall feeling of the track. So to me, it just loses so much of the overall like weight and heft, and the depth and the fullness of the track removes when I mute the synth stem. But I don't think that when I add it, it just takes over everything. And that's what I want to achieve with this. You can use synths and layer them in with your orchestral parts and just enhance the overall feeling of it. So what I did here is that I used the Vital synth. This is just a free synth, so you can go ahead and download it. I will link to it in the description also. And I have the main string parts here. And then I just duplicated the MIDI in that and just programmed the synth part that I felt worked together with that string patch and just enhanced that a bit. So that sounded like this. And when you listen to it in solo like this, it sounds almost like silly to me, at least. And that's one of the keys to do this. Don't do it in solo. So the idea of this is to enhance the first string patch that you have. So you have that up, and you always constantly references to that. So if we listen to them together. So as you see, it do not take over the full like sonic feeling of it. It just enhances it a tiny bit, and we have some slap delay or ping pong delay to this patch, and that gives it a bit of movement. So instead of putting that delay on the strings, that would have sounded a bit weird. You can have that on the synth, and you add that dimension without taking away anything from the strings. After that, we have the ostinato. It sounds like this. And if we add synth ostinato, and if I remove it, so once again, this just enhances the strings a bit. It has a really aggressive transient to it that makes this ostinato cut through the dense mix without having the string ostinato too loud in the mix, because then it would clash with the main strings. So this is a smart way to have the ostinato sit really well in the mix. But it, once again, it just enhances the main patch that is the strings. After that, I have two bass synths, one like sine waves, really low one, and one distorted one that has a bit more width to it. And those are not copies of any of the strings. And the reason for this is that I really want to solidify the low end of the track. When you're using synths for this, you don't have those. They are just programmed digital soft synths, so they are not recorded in a room. With all rooms, there comes a lot of character with the room, of course, but it also comes with a lot of problems. You can have standing waves, you can have frequencies poking out and stuff like that. Phase issues, but depending on how it was recorded and everything like that. So I really like to use synths instead and just have a really solid low end. So if we listen to just the really low one, just a sine wave, really just pumping, and then we have this distorted one. A lot more character to that, a bit width, a bit of delay to it, a lot of distortion to add some character to it, and then we have the low end that just solidifies the sub. So together. So it just sits beneath everything else and just have that foundation for everything else to sit on, and it just is a driving force through the track. And the last patch here is just a layer of the brass. So the brass sounds like this. And if we add the synth patch, add some more aggression, add some more transient to it. With once again, we'll have it cut through in the mix a bit more. So we take a listen to everything one more time, and I mute the synths, and we just get a feeling of it one more time now when we have went it through it all. So a really smart way to enhance your orchestral parts without making a lot of effects to them and make them sound weird or anything like that. It just add a bit of fullness and depth and over the top feeling, bigger than life feeling to the orchestral parts. And if you want any of these presets, I have programmed them in Vital, as I said, so you can just go ahead and download the free synth. And then I include all the presets in the giveaway in the end of the video. So just go there and follow the link and download all the presets if you want them. And you can just use them as starting points when you do this in your tracks. All right, that's it for the synth layering. Let's go ahead and check out the next technique. So in this second technique, we will do almost like the opposite of what we did in the first technique. In the first one, we used synths to create layers of the orchestral parts to enhance them. In this case, we will enhance the organic parts with effects instead. So I have just a simple piano line. It sounds like this. Just a melody and a bass beneath that. So super simple. And if I would like to enhance this with keeping it that simple and intimate, but just bring some more life to it, I can use something called granular effects. This is an effect where you send in a signal into it, and the granular engine chops that signal up in small parts or small grains, and then replace them depending on the settings that you have dialed in the engine. So I use Emergence. This is a free plugin. I really love this plugin. I use this all the time for all of my projects, and I have a lot of other great granular engines, but this is actually the one that I use the most, even though it's free. So if you don't have this, go ahead and download it. It's so powerful, intuitive, and easy to work with. It has like different streams down here, so you can have 4 streams. And I use 2 streams here, and each stream has their own settings. So you can change the pitch and the timing and the increments, and you can have them reversed, and you can pan them, and you can do all weird stuff with it. So for this one, I used just stream 1 and stream 2. This stream 1, I did a little bit of pitch shifting to it, just to have that like slightly off from the original piano. And the second one, it's 1 octave above. And that's like the main thing that I did with it. And then I just played with the timing of it. So if we listen to the granular engine in solo, it sounds like this. So it sounds like really weird. It has that wobbly feeling to it and kind of weird high tones in there. It's almost like a bit contained. But if we listen to it together with the original piano, it sounds like this. And all that like quirkiness and weirdness from the granular engine adds so much life to the original piano. It has those reverse grains that comes and goes, and those highs that just add some burst of life on top of the piano. So this is a really great way to add some weirdness and life and movement to your piano. And if we take this one step further, we can just run both of those into a big reverb. So in this case, I used Valhalla Supermassive, another free plugin, super awesome plugin. It has those really over the top big reverbs with you can use the warp algorithms and you can create really crazy stuff with it. So if we just run both the dry piano and the granular engine into the big reverb, it sounds like this. So now all those weird corky, granular part gets into the big reverb, and it just creates this cloud of really interesting, weird sonic landscapey things around that piano that also sits in the same kind of ambience and space. And I mean, to me, this is a really, really great way to add some interest and life into a really simple piano patch. As I said, we started out here with just a dry piano and ended up here. And this is made with 2 totally free plugins. So if you don't have these plugins, go ahead and download them, start to experiment with them, and have a lot of fun with this technique. The third technique we will take a look at is a way to create reverse effects out of the sounds that you already have in your tracks. This is a great way to keep the attention of the listener or guide him or her into new sections of your tracks. We will use the same piano idea that we have had in the last technique, just that piano melody with the granular engine. But I have added a bit of an effect here in the end. So we will just listen through it 2 times, and just when the sequence repeats here, just listen to what that reverse effect adds to the overall like feeling of the sequence. Cool. So it's just that suck back effect in the end there that just grabs onto the attention just when the melodic parts just disappear. That just creeps up and just leads the way into the new beginning of the sequence. Really, really effective technique in my opinion. So the way I created this is with a technique that I call RAR. It's just a 3-step process, and it's super simple to remember. RAR, it stands for reverse, add, reverse. So you first just grab the source that you want to work with. In this case, I just took the last piano tone of the piano sequence. Just the same piano tone that we had in the beginning there. Or in the end there, I'm sorry. So I bounced that down into audio, and the reason that I bounced it down to audio is to be able to proceed with the first step to reverse the sound. You need to have the sound in audio in order to do that. So I bounced it down in audio and I reversed it, and now it sounds like this. And then it's time for the second step, the add step. I added 2 effects. It's first off just a bit of compression. And the reason for this is that I just want to tame the dynamic range of the sound a little bit. If I don't do that, I will have a ramp of the amplitude of the whoosh that will be just a bit abrupt. I want it to be just kind of smooth, especially in this like really intimate piano piece. So I just want to compress it a little bit. It's nothing crazy, just tames it a little bit and just smooths it out a little bit. After that, I added the same reverb as we had over here. 100% wet, so it just drained in reverb, and now it sounds like this. With a really long and lush tail to it. And that tail is actually really the bulk of what we need, because now in the third step, it's time to reverse that sound again. So I bounce it down into audio one more time, and now we have it over here. This is the same sound. And when I reverse that, I just have the tail. So I just edited out the rest. So the tail is in reverse now. And that is actually the final sound that we heard in the beginning. The only thing I added to this was the same kind of reverb one more time, because then when the sequence repeats over here, that reverb tail just creeps up in the beginning and just creates a really smooth transition into the new beginning of the sequence. So now when we know all that, we can have another listen to it. So it's just super simple way to create your own reverse effects out of any sound that you have in your track. You can use your lead, you can use the vocal, you can use the strings, the brass, whatever, and you can, in the add section, the second part of the of the process, you can add whatever you want. You can pitch it down, you can add distortion, you can add flangers, chorus, whatever kind of stuff that you want. And all is this with free stuff in all DAWs that I know of. At least you can reverse your sounds, and that's like the main thing that you want to do. So yeah, that's about it for this technique. Okay, there we have it. 3 simple sound design techniques that enhances your music. If you got inspired by this and you wanted to dive a little bit deeper into this world of sound design and combining that with your music, I have created something really, really great for you just for this video. This is a 3-step guide how you can implement sound design into your track. If you are interested in this stuff, this is a must download for you. This makes the process of implementing the sound design so much easier. It's just a simple follow guide. It's step by step for how you can implement the sounds and how you can turn the sounds that you already have in your tracks and just enhance them with sound design and just bring more life into your compositions. All right, thanks a ton for watching this video. Thanks, Christopher, for letting me do this. Take care of each other, and I see you in the next video.
All right, my friend, that was the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, you learned a couple of takeaways there that you can apply to your own music right away. Let me know, actually, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? Leave it in a comment below. Please give a warm welcome to Simon. And again, I thank you for coming on the channel today. I much appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, my friends. Bye bye.